Absolutely confirmed. Eberechi Eze to Spurs. Final talks underway. Tottenham pushing to seal deal in the next 48 hours. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. All signs now point to one undeniable truth within English football. Eberechi Eze will be a Tottenham player. The level of certainty around this deal is no longer in doubt. The ever-reliable Paul O'Keefe has stated with conviction that Eze's move to Spurs is inevitable. According to him, it is not a matter of if the Palace talisman joins Tottenham, but rather when. Negotiations are already in the final stages, with Spurs pushing hard to conclude the agreement within the next 48 hours. This sentiment is echoed by Sami Mokbel of BBC Sport, who has confirmed that Tottenham are accelerating talks to strike a decisive deal. His report reveals that discussions between Spurs and Palace, which have been ongoing since last week, are now described as progressing positively, with growing optimism in North London that the finish line is firmly in sight. The deal would be worth around £65 million, with £55 million fixed plus £7 million in add-ons. David Ornstein has added further weight to the story. He has revealed that Crystal Palace have already begun identifying Eze's successor, a clear admission that they are preparing for life without their star playmaker. According to Ornstein, the Eagles have set their sights on Bilal El Khanous of Leicester City, a midfielder who impressed last season and is now seen as the ideal replacement for Eze. The fact that Palace are lining up targets speaks volumes. They know Eze's departure is imminent. Eze himself has done little to cool speculation. During Palace's opening fixture against Chelsea, he not only delivered another trademark performance but also appeared to signal his farewell. After finding the net from a free kick, a goal later ruled out, his celebration involved the entire squad, in what many interpreted as a symbolic goodbye. Those close to the player insist he has already informed teammates of his decision. His future lies at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. For Spurs, the timing is critical. Manager Thomas Frank is desperate to reinforce his squad after losing James Maddison to a long-term injury, while missing out on Morgan Gibbs-White. Tottenham's hierarchy are therefore determined to get the easy transfer over the line swiftly, ensuring they can turn their full attention towards a second marquee pursuit. Savinho from Manchester City. The reality is now impossible to ignore. Eze's switch to North London is edging closer by the hour. Spurs, emboldened by agreement on personal terms and a clear green light from the player, are applying maximum pressure to finalise the paperwork in the coming hours. The message from insiders is crystal clear. Eberechi Eze to Tottenham is happening. It is no longer a question of negotiations dragging on or late window drama. The transfer will be sealed imminently, with the next 48 hours set to be decisive. For Tottenham supporters, anticipation is at fever pitch. The arrival of one of the Premier League's most gifted attacking midfielders is not just a possibility, it is a near certainty. With the deal for Eberechi Eze now entering its final stages, respected insider Paul O'Keefe has revealed that Spurs are already preparing their next major move, a blockbuster pursuit of Manchester City winger Savinho. The Brazilian, who has caught the eye with his explosive pace and flair, is now the club's top target once the Eze signing is confirmed. According to Fabrizio Romano and several other journalists, Tottenham have already tested the waters with a £50 million offer for Savinho. That proposal was quickly rejected by City, who value the 21-year-old much higher and are reluctant to sanction his departure. Yet, behind the scenes, belief is growing that a second approach from Spurs could be decisive. Paul O'Keefe has gone further, stating with conviction that Tottenham are ready to return with an offer closer to £70 million, a figure everyone at Hotspur Way believes will finally unlock the deal. If successful, this would make Savinho the most expensive signing in the club's history, eclipsing previous records and sending a clear message that Spurs mean business under Thomas Frank's leadership. Despite Pep Guardiola's glowing words about Savinho whenever he is asked, there is a feeling in Manchester that £70 million would be too significant to turn down. Manchester City are ambitious themselves, and the funds generated by Savinho's potential transfer could directly fuel their pursuit of Rodrigo from Real Madrid, a player Guardiola has long admired and views as a dream addition to his attack. In this sense, A Tottenham deal for Savinho could spark a domino effect in the transfer market, benefiting City, strengthening Spurs, but leaving rivals like Arsenal with plenty to worry about. For Tottenham, Savinho represents not just another exciting wide option, but a statement of intent. His creativity, trickery and ability to stretch defences would add a completely new dimension to Frank's front line. With Mohamed Kudus already dazzling on the right, and Eze set to arrive as a midfield magician, adding Savinho would complete a front line capable of challenging anyone in Europe. The player himself is understood to be keen on the idea of joining Spurs, drawn by the prospect of regular Champions League football and the chance to be a central figure in one of England's most upwardly mobile projects. With Tottenham now firmly focused and prepared to go all in, confidence is sky high that the next chapter will see Savinho unveiled in lily white. As O'Keefe and Romano both stress, it is no longer a matter of if Spurs move for Savinho again, but when. All signs point towards Tottenham breaking the bank, smashing their transfer record and making Savinho the jewel in their new-look attack. Spurs' ambitious summer transfer plans continue, and while all eyes remain on the high-profile pursuit of Savinho from Manchester City, the club have also lined up a world-class alternative. Should negotiations with City stall, Spurs are prepared to swiftly shift their focus towards Real Sociedad's Takefusa Kubo, a winger who has long been admired across Europe for his dazzling pace, technical brilliance and flair in the final third. Reports from Givmersport suggest that Sociedad are willing to sanction the sale of their prized Japanese star if a club meets their £60 million valuation. For Tottenham, who have already demonstrated their willingness to spend big this summer, that figure is well within reach. The club's hierarchy, led by Daniel Levy, are fully aware that the squad must continue to evolve if they are to build on last season's Europa League triumph. And Kubo has emerged as a genuine target who could transform Thomas Frank's attacking options. Kubo's credentials are undeniable. Since joining Sociedad in 2022, he has consistently troubled La Liga defences with his pace, dribbling ability and vision. The 24-year-old notched 7 goals and 4 assists across 52 appearances last season, and he has already opened his account for the new campaign. Beyond the numbers, his energy, directness and flair make him exactly the sort of player Spurs are seeking. A wide forward who can stretch the game, beat defenders and provide cutting edge in the final third. Thomas Frank has already made it clear that he wants his Tottenham side to be one of the most aggressive and attack-minded in the Premier League. With Mohamed Kudus quickly establishing himself as a star on the right flank, Spurs now want a left-sided winger who can cause chaos on the opposite side. Eberechi Eze is arriving to inject creativity through the middle, and if Savinho cannot be prized from Manchester City, Kubo is viewed as the perfect solution to balance the attack and add another devastating weapon to Frank's. The admiration for Kubo is not limited to Spurs' scouting team. Barcelona legend Xavi once described him as a world-class talent, and those who have followed his development believe his best years are still ahead of him. Tottenham share this view, convinced that under Frank's system, the Japanese international could thrive in English football and quickly become decisive in the Premier League. Real Sociedad, for their part, know they face a difficult task in keeping hold of their star man. While they would prefer to retain him, the reality is that £60 million represents a significant sum that could allow them to reinvest elsewhere. With Tottenham ready to act decisively and with Champions League football on offer, Kubo may find the lure of North London impossible to resist. What is clear is that Tottenham are leaving nothing to chance. By identifying Kubo as a serious alternative to Savinho, the club have ensured that Frank will not be left without the wide attacking reinforcements he craves. Whether it is the Brazilian or the Japanese winger, Spurs are determined to deliver another marquee signing before the window closes, and confidence is growing that one way or another, Tottenham will get their man. That wraps up today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for our latest content. Be sure to give this video a like and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow the Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for tuning in, and as ever, come on you Spurs!